Okay, so let's see. After hitting this move, it's really common for people to guard cancel forwards, so I'm always trying to cover that. So here I'm waiting to see if it happens, and I'm still waiting. And if I see it, I'm gonna react with a move. I'm gonna react with that move. But since I didn't see it come out, I could wait until they landed. This is just like a normal string, not much going on. There's again. I'm, this is a really common guard cancel spot, so I'm waiting for it, and I'm ready to react to it if it happens, but it doesn't happen. This is a fake move because, see, most of the times I'm jumping and doing jump 6C, like that. So it looks like I'm gonna do it again, but instead of doing it, I fake like it and then do a different move, so they like get thrown off, and sometimes you can get a hit like that. Hmm. That was faster than I expected. This is like a lot. A lot of times people get caught by an overhead right here, so there's certain specific times where it's like people especially tend to fall for it. I actually had a mic on while I was playing, but I didn't say much. I didn't think I was gonna die there. Here again, I'm like pretty much always trying to cover the guard cancel forwards because it's very common. So I'm canceling myself. I couldn't really grab it, but I was able to hit with jump B. This is a air unblockable setup. If you hit someone like this, then it's very hard for them to escape the air unblockable. Here again, it's very common to see a guard cancel, so you have to watch for it. And it didn't happen this time. Oh. It's really hard to get around just because. So if they don't jump, they're gonna get hit by something. But even if they jump out, it's really hard for them to actually try and attack you because you can do this. So as long as you're ready to react and like you don't overcommit and press something else, like if I did an explosion, then they could just fly in and hit me. But I could see they're jumping out and I'm ready to react to that. And like feels like they should have a chance to hit you, but then they get hit anyway. There's another guard cancel spot. And when they block the seeds, some people will guard cancel there, so you have to watch for that. So I'm watching for that. This is a little bit of a fake where it looks like I'm going to do jump 6C by delay it by a slight moment by doing a backwards homing. So that if they're like looking to backdash or backwards homing to dodge it, their timing might get thrown off by just a little bit, and that's what actually happened. And again, like, I mean, I don't know if I have to point it out every time, but like this is another guard cancel spot, and as soon as I land, I'm looking to see if they're gonna do it, and covering it doesn't happen. Now I have a little bit of time. I'm gonna see if so I delayed a little bit more just because um, every time he lands, he's blocking, and you can see that. So like some people will try to do something when they land, so you cover the landing quickly, but I know he's blocking, so I'm gonna wait and give him just a little bit more time, so maybe he thinks, alright, this time I should do something. and then hit him right when he tries to do the thing. But he actually doesn't do anything still. So my style is so much like that, where it's like trying to read the opponent and bait out a move or force them into a move that I can counter. And then if they don't do anything, well, that's fine. I'll just like keep doing what I want to do. And then I'll probably still win anyway. This is just a read at the opening where um, I'm standing there and doing a move that only hits up in the air. So if they just stood there and like pressed any button, they'd hit me and get a counter hit, and it'd be bad. So it's just a risk I'm willing to take. And like, I bet they're gonna jump, and I was right. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that I couldn't get a punish on that, but somehow I hit them out of their uppercut. This is another, like, it's like counter certain things so hard, like when you're at close range and someone blocks, it's very common for them to just guard cancel really fast because they think you're going to do another move, so I almost always cover that option. So they guard cancel right when they get hit, but I'm not committing to anything. I'm able to hit. It's a really good read, too. I think this was the first match we played today, so so when I'm watching a replay, I don't always have the same sense of what the other person's gonna do as when I'm actually playing, but sometimes you can kind of just feel how, I guess, how much the opponent wants to hit buttons or stuff like that. So if you know they want to do something, you can read like, oh, he wants to do something, so he's gonna burst or something like that, or he wants to do something, so he's gonna guard cancel, and you can cover it and counter it. Since I'm not even actually punishing, really, I'm just holding on to the advantage, so really it's not that like, to make it actually worthwhile, you would have to be so accurate, but since I'm just playing for fun, I don't mind just betting on what I think's gonna happen, even if it's not necessarily the best strategy to win overall. I think he just missed his timing by a little bit, but I could have connected to the thing, but I wasn't actually doing that. If he was a little bit faster, he might have hit me. I think this combo is silly. This person's played me a lot, and they've adjusted to my style pretty well, so they kind of know how to play against me. That's not a thing I usually do very often. But I think I was thinking maybe they won't expect it because I don't really do it. And then they could have gotten a hit, I think, but they didn't go for it. Oh, there's another, like, it's very common to see a guard cancel here, so I'm already ready to cover it, and I'm gonna grab them as soon as I see it happen. So I'm like waiting, and I'm gonna grab as soon as I see it happen, and then at the very last second they actually guard canceled backwards instead of forwards. So that was actually pretty surprising. And again, there's another guard cancel spot, but it's hard to cover this one when you don't have any meter to guard cancel yourself, or homing cancel, I guess. That's some good movement there. Yeah. Cool. This is like every time, like, here people often guard cancel, so I'm just gonna play safe against it, not commit to anything. It's that same spot. And I actually didn't realize he was using wind this time. I don't think I realized while I was playing either. So you can't actually forwards guard cancel with wind, you push block. But I was still, I didn't realize, so I was still covering the forward guard cancel. There's again. Like, you'll see how often I just, like, don't commit to anything because I expect them to guard cancel. So, something that does happen is, like, I miss out on a lot of combos or things like that because I don't commit to anything. So, like, if they get hit, a lot of times I won't press the next button, so I won't do a combo. But I'm completely fine with playing that style. I guess that's kind of how I want to play, so. Well, that was an interesting exchange. So, Kona does have an invincible move that's quite a threat, but here I'm just like, they see how often I try to bait things, so they probably aren't gonna just throw it out. And so I'm okay with just like standing there and pressing A. And oh, I think it's funny I laughed at the same time while playing. But it's like, oh, they're gonna burst immediately. But they actually reacted a little bit too slow, so I didn't actually block it. It's like, oh, I knew they were gonna burst, but they reacted too slow. Oh. I think they might have just done it too fast. I don't know if I don't think I read anything there. There's again. Like, it's like people tend to guard cancel right here, so never gonna let it work. I'm gonna counter it every time. And there's the guard cancel, there's the counter. Oh, this is another spot where, like, Excalibur will do cancels into uppercuts sometimes, or just uppercut immediately. So, so I'm watching for that. Homing cancel and don't do anything. Oh, I thought I could land actually. So, even while watching, I knew that might happen. I feel like that's not really a good move, just because it's pretty easy to play around. Here, it feels like they're gonna burst soon. I don't actually remember what happens, but I'm sure that's what I'm thinking about. But it's really common to bait the reverse right here, so Excalibur knows I like to bait his burst, so I don't know. Looks like I read he wasn't gonna burst, and he didn't burst. That's a tough spot, like, you can't really guard cancel there, because the next guard cancel back, because the next move will hit you. I guess it was only the first round, so I think Excalibur doesn't tend to burst on the first round that often, so that's probably why I didn't bait it and why he didn't burst. One of the things I've learned to do is just really memorize every situation and what the other person's doing, so like one of the things I remembered was right here, he did 5A into an air unblockable move, so anytime I'm in that situation in the future, I'll remember that, and I'll be like, well, that's what he was doing today. Is he changing it up, or is he always doing that? And I can think about all of that while I'm playing. And that time he actually changed it up. So I was ready to dodge, but he didn't do the same thing. I should have been able to get a hit there, I think. This is, as I've always been saying, this is a spot where people tend to forwards guard cancel, and I'm pretty good at covering it. And there it is. Oh, I think I should have had it punished there. This is another spot. Same spot, pretty much. People tend to forwards guard cancel here. I'm ready to grab it. It doesn't come out, so I adjust. Just kind of dropping a lot of things. I wonder what I was thinking about there. But I think if I really focus, I can play cleaner. But when I'm just playing for fun, I don't care as much. These are the things that I remember. Like, it's like, oh, I did that move and he dodged and countered it. So now, I'm gonna be looking for that a lot in the future. Oh. I think I laughed because I was thinking about baiting the burst immediately, but I chose not to do it. In a serious match, I really think you shouldn't bait burst that often because it's not that good, but again, this isn't really a serious match, so I bait burst every time I think someone might do it. And sometimes that gets me into trouble. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to stop and change that mindset in serious matches, so sometimes I play serious matches the same way. Oh, there it is again. That's why I throw a lot of fakes out and don't always do this. Or throw out some delays. Yeah. This time, I think I was gonna counter it, but he did an invincible move. Oh, there's the fake. See, like, I'm gonna be watching for that move. Probably not gonna play in too often to the same thing. So here, instead of throwing out the move, I jump again, so it comes out at a different time, and then I get the hit. Of course I'm gonna do it again, like, Here, I don't throw it out, I jump again. Again. Yeah, I kinda missed the timing. I think he's trying to dodge the move I just did. A lot of times I'll really delay that move so that there's no way they can dodge it. But this time I actually threw it out pretty fast. I think he's trying to dodge it if I delayed it a little bit more. This, if you hit someone on the first frame when they get up, then they can't actually bring out any move. Even if it's an invincible move, it won't come out. So that makes it safe to try and hit them on the first frame because um, they can't even use an invincible move. I think I threw in a delay there to try to bait his burst. So here you'll see I jump, and then I like don't press anything for a tiny bit. I don't actually know if I have the skills to react that fast. But I was thinking, I was like, oh, I think it might burst here, and then I didn't see it coming, and I tried to convert it into a combo. Even in the replay, though, it feels like a spot where he might burst. So you'll see I throw in a lot of these kind of awkward pauses where it's like the person's expecting to get hit, so they're gonna like either they're probably gonna just wait for you to hit them because you're like about to hit them with a move, and then they might be planning like as soon as I block, I'm gonna guard cancel and then cancel into something else. And then they're like so focused on that, and then you just like don't actually hit them. Like, what do I do? and then and then it feels like they can't really jump because you could hit them with a move if they try to jump, and they can't guard cancel because they're not hitting them with anything. So it's like a really strange position. Here, I'm pretty sure there I meant to not hit them because I was trying to fake like I was gonna hit them, and if they don't block anything, they can't guard cancel. So a lot of times, like I was saying, people will be expecting to get hit and they'll try to guard cancel right when they get hit. But if you don't actually hit them, then they don't have any invincibility, so you can just hit them when they think they're gonna guard cancel. But this time, unfortunately, I actually hit him, so he did have invincibility, and my setup didn't work. I'm surprised I didn't bait his burst there and he didn't burst there. Because it really feels like a burst might happen in this situation. Maybe I read that he wasn't feeling like pressing it, I guess. There's again, if you can get a hit on the first frame, they can't do anything. Well, even it's like, so silly. Oh man, only in like yeah. Well, this is like really how I play, where I was just sure he was gonna burst, but there's absolutely like no way for me to take advantage of it, so I couldn't like punish him for bursting or anything. But I was so sure that I was like, I'm not even gonna press the next move. I'm just gonna watch you burst and do nothing. And I was pretty sure I just enjoy trying to read the other person's mind and predict their next move and stuff. Here, I feel like at my level, I should be getting in a high jump guard here all the time, so I was kind of upset at myself that I didn't get it. Ooh. Oh. Hyuga is kind of a repetitive player where he'll just do the same things over and over, and um, as long as I don't mess up, I can just do things that counter the things that he always does, and then win every time. So for me, it's not a very interesting match. It's kind of like, even if he gets hit by the same thing, or I guess I'm not sure if he's he, but even if they get hit by the same things over and over, they'll just keep getting hit by them. So going for the perfect. Here's again another spot where people tend to guard cancel. Here I was backdashing to bait an uppercut, because that's pretty common. It didn't come out though. And I also threw in a delay there to try to catch a guard cancel. So like instead of doing an immediate follow-up, I'm just waiting just enough where they can't guard cancel, and then doing the next move. So there's a lot of those small delays or baits. Oh, that was a pause in the actual game. I didn't pause it. This, a lot of times, right here, people will think they can jump, so you can throw out this at the very end, and then people will get caught trying to jump a lot of times. But this person knows me too well. So, like I was saying, I like to throw in a lot of delays. If I delay here, they could jump, so I think they're reading that, and they were gonna try to jump, but I hit them out of it. There's another guard cancel spot that you should watch out for. This is a little bit of a trick, because it looks like I'm gonna connect to the thing and maybe do a fast overhead. It's even faster if you're in extend force, so it looks like I might do that. But instead I like wait a little bit and then do a low, and I'm able to combo in it because or combo with it because I have extend force. The funny thing is, you'll see I don't really go for much powerful setups or mix-ups, and I kind of just let the other person do a move that will cause themselves to get hit most of the time, and it works out really well. But here, they actually just happen to fall into a really tough mix-up where I didn't think, while I was playing, I didn't even think there's enough time for the 5A to come out like that. Oh. So although I say like to bait a lot of things, sometimes I'll see if like people aren't doing those things. This is a really good read too. Like, I don't know how I get these reads. Because like, you could have bursted on any of these hits technically. I think part of it is just feeling like how the opponent is feeling about the match, where it's like, and how they're thinking. So here it looks like it's not really gonna be much. I might not get a combo off this, and then once I get these hits in, it's like, oh, it's actually gonna be a pretty good combo. So now you're thinking about bursting because you're looking at your life, and then you're like, all right, I should probably burst here, and then I guess I was reading that.
Oh.
uh, That's another situation. It's like at my level, I think I should always be able to high jump guard there. So it's like maybe I just wasn't on point or something, but
私は割る距離命の駆け引きを楽しみましょう
there's the guard cancel spot. But it looks like I actually read that he wasn't gonna guard cancel, so I threw out the move pretty quickly, and he tried to do something else. Oh, there's that fake again. So it's like looks like I'm gonna throw out the move. I wait for a while and then don't throw it out, but I didn't get the punish this time, unfortunately. There's again. It looks like making it look like I'm gonna do the thing. Then I don't do it and try to punish what they were gonna do to counter the thing. Here's another situation where you might see an uppercut come out, but I wasn't worried here. Really wasn't worried here. Oh, that time they managed to get away from the setup. So I can react to people jumping, but usually that's good enough to hit. This time it didn't work. See, if you're just off by a tiny bit, it's huge. Like you can go from like about to win to just dying. But this time I was able to recover. This is the same air unblockable setup. So you do that 2-2 move where you spin around and it's air unblockable. But sometimes people will know that's coming, so then they'll just like desperately try to dodge it, and you can actually counter the thing they were gonna do to try to dodge it and get a better punish. Except there I didn't actually convert into anything. This is the same situation, but I'm actually okay with like not taking the damage and just keeping them blocking instead. So here I don't even go for their unblockable. And I'm always like worried about when the opponent might throw out an uppercut, I'm ready to counter it. And there's the counter right there. There's a lot of things that I'm not necessarily mentioning, but the opponent could do them and they still wouldn't work. It probably felt like I should have countered that, but I didn't. See, I do these things a lot. I like make it look like I'm gonna do a move and just wait to see if the opponent does anything. Just wait, and I finally do a move. This is another bait where it's like, looks like the uppercut can be tough to beat because even if you try to like jump away, sometimes they'll still get hit. So I'm trying to make it look like it's a situation where I'm gonna get hit even if I try to jump away. And I try to jump and then dodge also, so I might be able to dodge it. I actually think the way Weiss's uppercut goes, I probably wouldn't have actually dodged it, so it wouldn't have worked, but there's that bait again. But this time, he actually converted into a different move. I was ready to catch a move, but he did an uppercut. I was laughing because he thought he fell for my trap, but I kind of fell for his. Hmm. There's that guard cancel spot again. Ooh. So I was delaying, but this time he was adjusting to me delaying the move. But I happened to land really far away and be safe anyway. This is an interesting setup where you can fly in for an overhead when they get up, and it's really tough to block with the seeds coming out as well. I actually went for it. I thought he was going to burst immediately, and he did a good job not doing that this time. There's that setup again. It's tough to see this one coming. There, I remember thinking, like, if you're gonna burst here, I can't bait it because I don't want to feel like that much of a fool. Try, like, drop 2 combos. Because I just didn't have a strong enough read that he was actually gonna burst. I thought he might not do it again, so I was like, yeah, I can't take the bet here. There's that guard cancel spot. Hmm. I think Hugo tends to not block all the way through the string. I'm not sure if I did the B version. I did the A version, looks like, from the controller. I'm not sure if I did the B version, it might have worked. But actually I thought I was gonna get get the hit there, and I didn't. Oh, that's kind of a big miss. Here I'm just throwing out moves that you just have to block. And if you don't block, you get hit. Oh. It's like, even if I don't actually punish at all, I just like getting people to burst and not getting hit by it. There's a lot of small things, like there's some small delays in there, like that's to bait a flash kick. So it's not necessarily obvious, but I was thinking there's a chance they might flash kick immediately, so I'm baiting it with this move, but even if they don't do it, I'm still like maintaining an advantage. Here, there's a slight delay just in case they guard cancel. That gives me a chance to react to that. So I'm not pressing anything for just long enough, and then I press something. Here I'm again kind of baiting a flash kick. If they throw it out, I'm gonna dodge it. There's a delay here because people, if they block, so I can't react if they hit or block, but if they block, they can immediately guard cancel, or they can even like delayed guard cancel, so I have to delay my move to react to that. So you'll see I don't press anything for a good moment, and then I press something. It's safe to throw out this move because even if they actually dodge it, you can connect to the fulcrum and then set up an explosion and hit them anyway, so it doesn't work. But I didn't actually connect to it. When I think someone might do something, like I think they might jump, I use the A version so it's faster. So if they try to jump, they'll usually get hit out of the jump startup. So I use that version just to get the opponent to think that they probably shouldn't jump in that situation. And again, this looks like they might be able to jump, but I throw in a low right at the very end. And then I throw in another low. That's like the very max range. And then they can finally jump. So it's kind of getting the opponent to think like, alright, I really have to block all of this stuff, and then finally, at the very end, I'll get out. But then when they start thinking that, then you can do other things. That first is too hard to bait. No way I can bait that. Or can I? Just kidding. Oh, there's another one. So, here's another spot. It's like covering against like a flash kick. They try to do it, but it doesn't work. I'm already like guarding against it. Still. Nice. That's another setup where it's the same setup as before, where it looks like I might connect to the fulcrum and do a fast overhead, but instead I'm delaying that and doing a low instead. And then I tried to throw in an overhead, and I think it would have worked, it just didn't connect. Also, looks like they weren't really wary of the overhead at all, so if I was really trying to like win quickly or win aggressively, I would like connect here and do the overhead immediately, and that's tough to block even if you're kind of aware of it, and it just didn't look like they were really respecting the overhead that much. That's actually a cross up when, like, it's one of the things where it's like at my level, I should block it every time, but you have to block the other way or you'll get hit, I think. Whoa. A lot of people will do something right there. But I think I pressed my next move pretty fast, so maybe I just read they weren't going to do anything. Or they're going to try to jump or something. But I think people don't tend to jump there that often. They do something else. This is that guard cancel spot again. See, if I was playing more aggressively, I'd actually go for a mix-up here. But one thing that might happen is, looks very obvious that I'm going to go for a mix-up here, so they might just throw out a flash kick immediately right here, because I'm going to go for a mix-up. So if they actually do that, they're going to get hit. And I didn't actually do a mix-up, so then it feels like, see, they didn't try to do anything and they got rewarded for it. Oh, they finally got a flash kick in. Here I'm just generally playing safe against everything, because I wasn't able to hit them on the first frame when they get up, so they could throw out a flash kick, and it just works, so they're actually a bit more likely to just do it again, because it feels like it's working. So I was just defending against everything. They might have rolled forwards and then flash kicked, so I jumped and then tried to dodge back. But they didn't actually do a flash kick, but they might do one here, and I don't remember what I did, but I'm assuming I'm gonna jump back and bait a flash kick. Oh, but they actually did it in a better way, and that was actually still able to hit me, and that's why I laughed in the video as well, because I was like really baiting the flash kick, but they found a way to get it off anyway. It's very tough to actually bait everything, every possibility. So sometimes something will work. Oh, one thing about that, for a long time, American players used to think that throws in that situation were untechable, so I guess they just kind of let the opponent throw them every time. So then everyone started always going for throws in that situation. So I would just always tech it, and I've gotten really good at teching it, and a lot of people don't adjust to that, and they just always go for a throw all the time, and it's just like I tech it every time. Technically, you can punish someone for trying to tech a throw by like doing an attack and then they get a guard cancel instead, and then you hit them out of their guard cancel. But a lot of people don't really adjust to that, so I just always tech the throw. And for the most part, my reactions to it are good enough that I can tech it every time, unless it doesn't look like they're gonna do it, or like looks like they're too far away. Sometimes you can still get it in. This is this is baiting the flash kick again. So looks like they might be able to get in and get a flash kick by dodge back, but they don't actually go for a flash kick. But I'm still able to cover most of the things they can do by doing this move. So technically they couldn't really move forwards here because I'm covering that, so they would have had to like move backwards even farther. So I'm trying to like make it feel like they have to keep defending or moving backwards or stuff like that. There's a little bit of a fake here where um, usually I go for jump 6C, but instead this time I'm flying forwards and doing this, and then if they guard cancel backwards, they can get caught by this move, and I can't go for an air unblockable here, but I try to just keep them blocking, but they actually jump out anyway. Really, sometimes those like really tiny misses can just cause you to die. So like just barely not hitting them turns it all around, and now I'm like at a huge disadvantage. There's a potential air unblockable situation, but if you go for the 2-2x move, they might be able to dodge it when they're in the middle of the screen, and then they could also even punish you, so I don't really go for it there. But I just barely missed them again. It almost turned out bad. This person really knows how to play against this move really well. And most people really want to move forwards when they get the chance, so they're like, I gotta get in there and start getting hits in, and then you just cover it when they try to move forwards. and most people won't realize they have to move backwards to dodge and then move forwards, and then they can get a hit in. But then it's on me to adjust to them moving backwards, and then I can start moving forwards because they've started moving backwards.
面白い面白いくらえ
See, there's that throw again. So if you wonder why I always try to tech whenever I recover, or I'm always ready to break a throw, it's because of what I said. There's that air unblockable setup, but part of the reason why I don't always go for it is because even though you get some damage in, doesn't necessarily lead to an advantageous position afterwards, so that's part of the reason why I don't think it's necessarily a great thing to go for all the time. You can see me covering against the uppercut again, and this time they finally throw it out, and you can see me actually getting in a dodge. All the other times, it might not be obvious that I was playing to counter the uppercut, but when you see it whiff, it makes it more obvious. That was a good fast burst. If they thought about it, I might have been able to counter. Or predict it, I should say. Just bait so many things all the time. It's like, yep. See, I delayed this move. So, usually you're going to see me throw it out right here. But instead I move forwards a little bit and delay it. And they try to dodge it, but the timing gets thrown off. And here I jump back to bait some kind of guard cancel or uppercut maybe. But I don't do jump 6C and I jump again. And then I try to punish them for trying to bait me or counter my move, so I'm countering their counter. It pays off here. Here a lot of times you'll see me backdash because I'm predicting maybe they're going to do an uppercut, so I can dodge it and then punish it. It also punishes some other things like that. I remember this situation even just from watching the replay where they'd go for 5A and then an air unblockable. So I know I have to move out of it and do something. Ooh. That was a really delayed overhead. They might be feeling like I don't really go for the overhead very much, so they're waiting for me to do something else, and then I just throw it in. That's a tough burst to bait. There's again, I'm already moving to counter that. And you'll see me throwing in a lot of these delays. Where it's like I'm not doing the move at the normal time, I'm just kind of trying to bait something out and counter it. This is the air unblockable setup, but it was actually pretty high off the ground, so I might not have been able to land in time to do it. So I adjusted with the homing cancel. That's a pretty strong adjustment there. Thought it was really strange that somehow I hit them out of their uppercut. This is, I'm pretty sure I'm just always baiting something, but like, here I was trying to cover a delayed guard cancel, but they actually guard canceled really quickly, but I was still able to hit it. You have to cover the delayed version of the moves, and then maybe react if they do it faster. At least that's how I play it. Ooh, I think I just pressed the button a little bit too fast. Even though I didn't jump to bait this one, I could still hit it if I don't press A too fast. Oh, that's it's like, it's such a good sequence of reads. Where it's like, after bursting, I thought they were gonna just fly forwards as fast as they can, so I was gonna throw out a move that would cover that. Then it hits, and since I'm thinking their mindset is like aggressive, do stuff, they're in that kind of mindset. Then after they get hit, then like they're probably just gonna burst immediately because they're in that mindset. So I jump and block it. I couldn't hit on the first frame here. I'm sure that was what I was going for. On a backwards recovery though, I don't know if you can do it really. There's again, I was watching for a guard cancel, so I think I was still thinking they're in that mindset where they're gonna try really hard to do things. So like, you see, they're like doing an uppercut as soon as they get up because they're still in that aggressive mindset. And so I'm still trying to cover them from doing anything really fast. Like, he's trying to fly in really fast, so I'm just covering that. Then I hit them, and so I'm now covering a guard cancel as hard as I can because I saw that feeling where it's like you might throw it out, and he doesn't do it. Hmm. I guess old me was surprised. This is a cross-up setup. A lot of times you'll go on to the other side and hit them. So there's the bait on the guard cancel that's been working a couple times this round. There's a delay to bait out a move. So it's like I'm just waiting for him to do something, waiting for him to do something, and then he finally does something. There's the bait on the uppercut again. It's like, I think my opponents just know they can't throw out the moves, really. Because they aren't actually falling for any of the baits, really. Here I didn't get the move to come out that I wanted. I wanted to do the 214X move, and then extend force. And you could see me input it on the controller. But it didn't come out. Anything interesting happen here? There's another different kind of bait. It hits them if they do any kind of move, and it can often hit them if they do a guard cancel. And they do a move this time. That's kind of surprising. There's another guard cancel situation that you have to be able to cover. They might have thought that I wasn't gonna do the move and I was gonna like fake like I was gonna do it and do something else, but I actually did it this time. Oh, 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 there's. This is like another situation where I usually defend against guard cancels, but I thought they might predict that, so they aren't gonna do it, and they're gonna do something else too. So I did a different move that this doesn't do too badly against guard cancels. A lot of times it can beat them out or clash, and then it's like a 50-50 situation. Or you can catch them jumping. Here it clashed, and normally I would. This is a really easy high jump guard to get, although people can punish you if you high jump guard every time, so technically you should mix in other things as well if someone's punishing you for high jump guarding all the time in this situation. But I was already inputting the next move, so I got that move anyway. I guess I really thought they weren't going to guard cancel or something, so I just did the next move in advance, and they actually got a hit. I just messed up my execution here. See, I don't really go for throws that often, just because I feel like it's not really that good, unless a lot of people it works really well against, so it is good against them, but some people like expect a throw's coming, so then you like try to actually hit them and get a hit instead. Well, this is a dangerous situation because a lot of times they can just press a button and hit you, so it's kind of worrying. That's really interesting because here I was baiting the uppercut like always, and I saw the forward guard cancel too, so I was like, oh, they're gonna do the uppercut. They didn't actually do the uppercut though. It's like, oh man. I think he read what I was gonna do and beat it. Oh. A lot of times you can land there, depending on what move they do. There's a high jump guard. Kinda surprised I didn't bait that one. If this was a tournament match, I'd be really upset that I dropped that. But it's not, so. There's another situation where, so if you've been watching, you've seen how often I say I throw in a fake here or delay or try to bait a move. This time I actually just did the move. Here I'm really trying to cover against like an uppercut or something, or an aggressive move. I think it's because it's like a desperate situation for the opponent, so it feels like they have to throw out something reckless. So I'm really playing safe against that, but they're holding back and not doing it. Oh. Oh. This was pretty interesting. A lot of times, this is again that guard cancel situation, but I didn't. I was partially covering it and then also getting in a cross up if they don't. Even if they guard cancel, a lot of times their invincibility will end and they'll get hit by this move. And if they just land, sometimes you can get a cross up in. This is just a generally tough string to deal with, so it's not exactly meant to do that much besides make your opponent block for a long time. Here's that guard cancel situation. They actually guard canceled backwards, really delayed. That's an interesting choice. But it didn't work out anyway. Uh, I didn't get the move I wanted. Mhm. Oh. See, I think it's more obvious to people watching, that I'm always baiting the flash kick when it works and they throw out the move. But really, I'm just always baiting it. So it's like not really a guessing game very often. A lot of times it's just, I'm gonna make sure that play doesn't work at all, and you can't do it. Just a little bit out of range for that one. As I say, this is a situation where I like to fake a lot. Because I probably said it before, but people will try to guard cancel right when they get hit, especially in this situation. And they'll really feel like they want to move in this situation. So I like don't actually hit them. And then this time I actually didn't hit them, and then I hit them when they try to move forwards. There's probably a combo I could do to close it out there. But especially in a casual match, I don't really mind. So even this isn't really vulnerable to flash kick unless you do it in a different way. They had a chance there though. Here I expect I would backdash to bait a flash kick and then do a move to keep the advantage. The other thing would be jump back. Just backdash. Yeah, there's a bait. Oh man. They actually reacted slower than I reacted to it. Technically, I dropped the combo. It's good. See, a lot of people will say to guard cancel through the 5A, but I cover it so often that you really shouldn't do it against me. Sometimes it'll work though, so it depends, but here I thought they might uppercut out of their guard cancel, so I was trying to dodge the uppercut, but yes, they really weren't doing it in these matches. They did before, so I think I was like expecting them to just do it some more, but maybe they like expected me to expect that, so they didn't do it. Oh. I'm reading an uppercut as always. This is a fun thing I like to throw in because a lot of times people will see, oh, you're not always hitting them in this situation, so they jump pretty fast, and you can fly in and air grab them. Even like you don't even have to see them jump. A lot of times you can just predict they're gonna jump because they aren't getting hit, and then you grab. And if they don't actually jump, then you just land, and a lot of times people will expect that they're gonna get hit, so then they'll keep blocking even though you're not hitting them, and then you can do a move anyway. That time I didn't necessarily bait the uppercut in the same way. It was a high jump guard. Oh, that's pretty bad. I have been having something with this controller where sometimes it's like the directions, I can't get the directions perfectly, so sometimes don't get the directions exactly, but that might just be me making an excuse. I kind of missed what happened. This is another situation. It very much feels like they might do something, so I'm like waiting for a while to see if they do anything, and then finally I do a move. Still doing it. And oh, I thought the seed was gonna save me. So I was like, I could just do stuff, and if they try to attack, they'll get hit by the seed. This is good for if they guard cancel for certain timings, or if they try to jump, a lot of times they'll hit them because it's air unblockable. And it also makes them block for a while. I thought they were gonna get hit by the seed and I would win. Remember, so one thing that this person's been doing well is that they move backwards out of range of my move, and then if I throw it out, they can punish it. So I decide I'm gonna just move forwards while they move backwards, and then as soon as they stop moving backwards, I'm gonna throw out the move and hit them. So I was like, alright, let's do it. So from all the way across the screen, I'm just homing forwards. I was like, alright, alright. And then they still got out of it. I think that's why I was laughing, because it's like I'm gonna go forwards until they stop moving backwards. And then they kept moving backwards. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it's like, I couldn't understand why I wasn't hitting these, but there's the uppercut bait again and again. That's kind of funny. So like, so I bait the uppercut here. And it's like, oh, they didn't do it. Then I'm thinking that they're thinking, oh, he just baited it. He's not gonna bait it again. So they like bait the uppercut again. It's like, oh, they still didn't do it. And then they actually find a counter. This person knows how to play the mind games against me.
And of course it wouldn't.
It's like a next level read and from both of us, I guess. So like I said, people tend to guard cancel here, but I think maybe I was less worried about him doing it. And then he does a late guard cancel backwards, but I actually cover that one too. I It's too good at playing around this move. I just stopped doing it. It's just like most people always want to move forwards there, so you can like stop them from moving forwards. But if they're countering you every time, you can't do that. This is one situation, like, looks like they tried to jump this time and they got caught. So there's a lot of small things where it's like, you won't actually see why I'm doing them unless, like, people actually get hit or get baited. So, like, you might not know that this is baiting a jump until you see someone get hit when they try to jump. That's dangerous. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. Oh, I wonder if that's a read. I don't even know myself. Oh, that. I didn't even jump or anything. I also don't recall seeing that much in these past matches, so. I thought he was gonna burst immediately as soon as the extend force ran out, so I was looking at the extend force. It's like, oh, it ran out, he's gonna burst. He didn't do it. And then it's like, oh, he's gonna burst. Yeah, he didn't do it. And I lost. This is another one where it's like, I don't care at all about that because it's a casual match. It's like, I'd rather show, look, I'm gonna bait your burst. I'm willing to lose the round because I'm trying to bait your burst. So don't burst. So like tapping A is generally safer than doing A and then C. So you'll see me do that a lot. And you can catch people out of moves sometimes like that. There's that bait again. I wonder if I thought they were gonna burst. Looks like it's pretty easy to combo. I think I did think they were gonna burst. Sometimes people react even more to the counter hit sound, so they see they get counter hit and they're even more likely to burst. And sometimes in a situation where they wouldn't normally burst all the time, they hear the counter hit and they just react. So you can like read that. There's another bait and a double bait. So I'm baiting the uppercut first. Then I'm baiting like if they were waiting for me to bait the uppercut and then they're gonna do it after really quickly. Then I jump back so it's still they can't do it. And it looks like they're gonna do it, so I'm still trying to guard against it. But they weren't actually doing it in these matches. I think I messed up the execution on a move. Yeah, there's so like say guard cancel situations where you know the other person's probably gonna guard cancel. Here I don't even think I saw it happen. I just assumed they were gonna do it and press the grab button and grab them. So I think that was just a pure read, not a reaction at all. Use that situation again, but oh, they actually did it. I think I was thinking that they wouldn't do it. Oh, that one was too obvious. Unfortunately, I missed the grab, but at least I showed that I knew they were gonna burst. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, that's a dangerous spot where it's tough to beat a flash kick, where if they just do it right when they land, you might get hit, so it's harder than most situations to bait it. So I was wary about that. And I didn't even press anything. While watching, I was wondering if I was gonna bait the burst here or not. Looks like I had a better sense while watching than while playing. A lot of times I like to throw out the fake right here. But this time I didn't actually throw out a fake, and maybe they thought I was going to. So maybe I like countered their read. It's just being annoying and trying to see if they're gonna do anything reckless. Oh. This is again that fake where it's hard to play around because I might actually do the move and they're gonna block it, but if I don't, they're gonna go up farther, and then they have to avoid the next move, and that's hard to do. So you see how much I talk about baiting the flash kick, but here it'd actually work if they just did it, because I'm just walking forwards, so I feel pretty comfortable that, oh, they aren't gonna do it right now, so I just do something else. And I think, oh, maybe they will, and then I like leave another opening for them to do it. This is how strong the setup is here, where so they try to guard cancel and then flash kick. If they don't cancel into an invincible move, they're gonna get hit by the second part of this move and get knocked down. If they cancel into flash kick, it doesn't quite reach, so it just doesn't work. And again, this is they're showing that they want to do something, they want to flash kick, it feels like. But if I can hit them on the first frame, it won't come out. So that's one way to beat it, and I did it here. They probably tried to flash kick, that's what I would guess. But you can't do it if you get hit on the first frame. That's pretty tricky because it looks like I'm not going to be able to follow up, kind of. So a lot of times people will just try to jump here because it looks like I can't follow up. But I actually hit it really fast. So if they tried to jump, they would have gotten hit. But they actually didn't try to jump. This looks like a flash kick or like forward guard cancel potential scenario. But I think they weren't really doing it that much. So maybe I wasn't too worried about it. There's that bait again, and I think they got tricked by it because looks like I was gonna hit them, and I delay it. Or maybe they're trying to do something else. So one thing you really have to get good at is countering those guard cancels. So I mention it so much because it kind of is that important, where if you miss it one time, you just die. So you have to be that good at countering it. This string is just generally hard to do anything against. So here's that bait as always. And that's the interesting thing, or the nice thing, is when you have a fulcrum out, you can miss your move, but connect to the fulcrum and then hit the opponent anyway, so they like dodged my move, and they would have had a free hit, but I connected to the fulcrum and I hit them instead. I could probably finish it there, but oh, I'm kind of surprised I didn't react to that. That's also a pretty big drop. Oh, I think if I just delay the button a little bit longer, I would hit them. I always find this really funny. Just like making the opponent think you're gonna hit them and then you just don't do anything, but they like don't feel like they can do anything either, so they just wait for you to do something and you just wait for them. Some people will get impatient really quickly, so you know, like, you just wait a tiny bit and then they're gonna do something and you can counter it. And some people will be really patient, they're like, not gonna do anything. Not gonna do anything. So, like, trying to make them uneasy by inching forwards a little bit and looking like I'm about to do something. Oh, there it was. I know I baited their burst, I think. I just didn't wait long enough and they pressed the button a little bit too slow because I was baiting it. Sometimes I think people fall for a trick and then they just burst because like, oh, like they're annoyed that they got tricked by something. So there really are a lot of patterns in how people play and a lot of things you can predict. And I think when I got really strong, one of the things I remembered the most was just all the different patterns and situations that happen all the time. There was a this was a situation where it's like, I think they might burst, and I probably thought that while I was playing too, but it wasn't a guarantee, so I was like, yeah, I think they might burst, but I actually am gonna bet that they won't, and they didn't. That spacing is just really hard to like try to do a guard cancel and a flash kick there just because how far away I'm staying. So like just really looks like it's gonna hit, but just that was tough to read. That's interesting. I hardly ever use that move, but sometimes. I actually thought, so it looks like the string's gonna end really soon, and they're gonna be able to do something. So they tried to jump there. Looks like they're gonna try to jump here again, so I tried to catch them with the A explosion, because that's what I thought they were gonna do it, but they actually just blocked. It's like, oh. I actually really thought they were gonna get hit. One of the other things I remember is I'll just remember strange situations where it's like sometimes there's one person I played where I was winning all the time, but they somehow like outread me in certain situations where it's like everyone always falls for this, and then I would do it and then they would like counter it and it would be the first time I did the move, so I have like no idea how they actually countered it. I was like, I tend to remember those types of things. This is covering either a guard cancel or a jump, kind of. Maybe not the jump. I think I was trying to cover a really delayed guard cancel because he was doing that sometimes. So if he really delayed it, I might still be able to grab him. But this time he was ready and he actually attacked when I landed instead of letting me attack. Most of the time, I know the risk of the move I'm doing, so like, if I try to grab and it doesn't work, I might be giving up the advantage. So I know it, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna take that risk anyway if I have a good enough read or I just want to do it. This is really baiting anything here. So I was like waiting for any kind of guard cancel. And I still didn't even actually hit them. Just jumped and I didn't hit them still. They still haven't been hit by anything. And then finally I pressed the move. I mean, I guess I had some kind of read that they wanted to do something because they just threw out an uppercut. But like, while watching the replay, I didn't have that feeling, but I don't know. That's pretty rough. I should be able to combo there, but the one time where this air unblockable is really good is when it wins the round. And you can cancel into a super to win the round with it. So this is a burst situation too, where a lot of times people burst right here. I guess I read they weren't gonna burst and they didn't burst. But I'm sure I was thinking about it. That's actually really strong. I wonder if I thought they were gonna burst. In the past, a lot of times, this person's done predictable bursts a lot, and they haven't been able to not do it, so I think they've gotten stronger at not bursting. Couldn't not do it that time. Especially in a casual match, I don't mind baiting it many times in a row, even if it causes me to lose. But sometimes you could read that people are reading that that you're always baiting a burst, so then you just like never actually bait it, but they never burst anyway because they keep thinking you're gonna bait it. It's an interesting mind game. Oh, didn't go far enough back. Kind of missing my moves. I'm surprised I hit all of that. Here, sometimes it can be hard to follow up. I could probably do 2C and then extend force in 2C. But if you're worried about not being able to follow up, you shouldn't throw out a move too quickly because right when people recover, a lot of times they'll be quick to try to do something and you want to not let them do it. So you'll see a lot of small variations, like a lot of times I'll guard cancel and then connect to the fulcrum, but this time I kept going and I just pressed A. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't cover it. I think I would have covered it if they didn't cancel into an invincible move, but they cancel into an invincible move, and it was just barely in range.
無駄よ無駄よクラウスラスの落ちてダール
So now I'm probably gonna go back to baiting flash kicks even harder, because I've gotten hit by them a couple times.
不流なくエクステンド
But we'll see.
私に従え飛べこの程度食らえそう
It's that
食らえ
very long, awkward delay. It's like,
この程度
so it looks like I'm gonna hit them here, then I jump, and then I homing, and then I don't do anything for a while, and then they like get uncomfortable and try to do something.
死ね無駄よエクステンドその程度食らう食らえいい加減に
Oh, what? Oh man.
食らう食らえいい加減に
Well, I mean, some of these reads, it's like, I don't even know how I knew that was gonna happen while I was playing. But I like knew it was gonna happen while I was playing.
エクステンドポイント死ね
This is another good situation throwing a fake, because a lot of times people guard cancel right when they block the plant, because they think it's gonna work. So then I throw in a fake and then I cover the guard cancel actually. Sometimes they'll catch them if they jump as well.
ポイント死ねセティクイ
Hmm.
クラウスラス
That time I got the land,
従え
and,
食らえ食らえ
and that's the last match.